Hey guys, it's Kiara. Long time no see. I'm really sorry I haven't made any videos lately. The only free time I have had is to eat and sleep. So I haven't been doing a whole lot of reading, but today I'm going to bring you my January, February, and March wrap-up. This might not be the most detailed wrap-up I've ever done, but it's been a while since I've read some of these books, so let's get started. The first book I read of the year was 13 Reasons Why by J. Asher. This book is about a girl who commits suicide. Her name is Hannah, and she records her messages to some of the people of why she committed suicide. And this book was pretty darn good. I do know someone who has had someone commit suicide in their life, so this book I could connect to on a personal level, and I rated this book a 4 out of 5 stars. The next book I read in January was Never Never by Colleen Hoover. This came out on January 4th. This is also written by Taryn Fisher, I forgot to mention that. But they co-wrote this, and it's in dual perspective, and I liked both of the characters, but this book is a little bit confusing, but overall I still enjoyed it. It had the humor and everything, but it's very mysterious. But overall I did enjoy it. I just wish it was a little bit longer and did not leave off on a huge cliffhanger. And I rated this book a 4.5 out of 5 stars. The next book I read was Unhinged by A.G. Howard. Oh my god, I'm sorry about the glare. This book was really good overall. This is a sequel to Splintered, and this book is like a Alice in Wonderland spin-off series, and they're really gothic and interesting. I love all the characters a lot. There is a love triangle, but I think it's done pretty well. I enjoy this book better than the first one, and the reason for that is probably because it was more in the human world, which I enjoyed more than Wonderland, because Wonderland was just kind of confusing for me. But overall, I did really enjoy this book, and I just love A.G. Howard's writing. I can't wait to pick up the next book, which I have yet to read, but I do own it. I gave this book a 4 out of 5 stars. The next book I read was Fairest by Marissa Meyer. This book is Levana's story, and she is the evil character in the Lunar Chronicles series. But this is kind of a story of Levana before the events of the Lunar Chronicles series. Overall, this book was pretty good. We get to see why Levana is the way she is. I still dislike her. I think she could have solved her problems a lot better. Overall, I gave this book a 4 out of 5 stars. You might have noticed a trend in the ratings of the books, and they're fairly high because I've only read books that I knew I would enjoy, and that's why they're all pretty high. The next book I read was The Ruby Circle by Rochelle Mead. It is the conclusion to the Bloodline series, which is a series I've been following since the beginning, and oh my gosh. This book was a little rushed, but it's probably because I read it so fast because I just wanted to know what would happen, but I was also trying to prolong the end. That didn't work. I hope she does make another spin-off series, because there's a character I still have questions on because he's kind of new when he popped up. But yeah, hopefully she makes another spin-off series. I gave this book a 4 out of 5 stars. The next book is a novella, and it is Welcome to Shadowhunter Academy by Cassandra Clare. This is a novella that takes place after City of Heavenly Fire. I'm not going to give a synopsis for this because it does spoil what happens at the end of City of Heavenly Fire. I just cannot say that right now for some strange reason. I gave this a 5 out of 5 stars because I really enjoyed it. I've really missed the characters in the story, and it just gave me a little bit more closure of what's going to happen next in their lives, and yeah. The next book I read was The Red Queen by Victoria Aveyard. This book was pretty good. This book just had a lot of elements from a lot of other YA novels that kind of remind me of The Selection. It reminded me of The Hunger Games. There's a few other ones that remind me of. But I think this book was definitely worth it for the ending, because the ending was just like, poof. I gave this book a 4 out of 5 stars. The next books I absolutely loved, and the first one is Confess by Colleen Hoover. As you guys know, I am a huge Colleen Hoover fanatic because everything she writes is absolutely amazing. This cover is probably my favorite of all of the books she has written so far. they did a great job with this. I just absolutely loved this book. I loved the characters, I loved the story. I do wish it was wrapped up a little bit better. I don't want to give a synopsis for this book because I think it's best to just go into this blind, but if you guys like art and funny and tragic stories, I highly recommend this book. Colleen Hoover definitely made me cry within the first 10 pages of this book. It is just amazing, and of course this was a 5 out of 5 stars. The final book I have to show you today is All the Bright Places by Jennifer Niven. I'm sure you guys have heard a lot about this book, and it was fairly amazing. I just finished this a couple of days ago, so it's still fresh in my mind. But this is the story of Finch and Violet, and they meet on top of a bell tower, and one of them talks the other out of committing suicide. And this book just hit me hard because it reminded me of some of my own relationships in my own life. I loved Jennifer Niven's writing. It was absolutely beautiful. The way I describe this book is that it is painfully beautiful, because that's exactly what this book is. The ending is definitely really sad. I can't form words when I think of this book. It just doesn't come out. But maybe I'll make a review of this. We shall see. I just kind of stacked these really badly, but here's all the books I've read in the past 3 months. They were all fairly enjoyable reads. By the way, I gave a 5 out of 5 stars to All the Bright Places. I just realized I didn't mention that. But yeah, ooh. I was wondering how long it would take for one of them to fall. Alright, so give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. I have really missed making YouTube videos, so hopefully I make a lot more in the near future. And yeah. Comment down below if you guys have read any of these books or you want to read them. Anyways, have a absolutely lovely day, and until the next time I see y'all, happy reading!